Yeah, hi there.
Literally no idea. I'm Ed. Nice to meet you all.
Alright, Matthew, nice to meet you.
The stuff that we're doing is so much of it is not what you quite think it would be.
Yeah, if you say we grow furniture, you get a lot of what?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
as soon as you explain it, everyone tends to sort of grasp it a lot easier. If people come to the field, they're instantly sort of won over because you can see the rows and rows of chairs and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, cool.
But it's been largely positive. You got grilled the other day, didn't you, at a speech?
Did you?
Oh yeah, thorough grilling. Actually.
Thorough grilling.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, the sort of going off to Rome is easier in some way because everyone that you meet, well, you might make some new friends and all the rest of it, but you get to come back home and go to the pub. But if you talk locally, then and you do anything wrong or any, you will be reminded of it for the rest of your life. And it's just like, yeah. So I was a bit more nervous about that.
Yeah,
But
a lot better now that more people know about us.
Yeah.
But when we first had the news articles and stuff online, it was really bad.
Yeah, if you look on the bottom half of the internet, as it
Well,
were.
there's always, the comments section.
Yeah.
There's always where
But there was an awful lot of misunderstanding at the beginning, as it were, and well, there's still quite a lot now, I suppose. I guess the thing is, it seems like as an idea, people have to kind of, in general, hear about it, go, oh, that's great, or that's stupid, depending on how you are, and then it takes a little while to sink in,
Yeah.
and then you either think it's really great or really stupid, depending.
It's because it is so different to what people are used to.
Yeah.
And even though there have been people doing it before, no one really knows it.
when Gavin started.
Yeah.
The what appeared obvious at the time was, okay, you start with 4 trees, they're your legs, and then you graft them all together to make a chair.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, no, that's completely the wrong way to do it. Turn it upside down, grow
Right.
it from 1 tree.
Right.
Kind of, it's obvious.
Yeah, yeah.
But unless you've been trying to do it for 3 or 4
Yeah, yeah.
years, it makes, as an artist, it makes me think there's some truth in it, because truth is always kind of simple when you know.
Yeah.
Started out kind of going, how can we bend trees into these shapes, and what can we do to the trees? But now it's more like, how can we do as little as possible to the trees, and how can we kind of take what they're doing anyway, and just encourage that. My mum and dad had bonsai trees, but with 2 kids, you're not getting much done, really, are you? Let's face it. So they'd overgrown, and there was a sort of moment as I was kind of walking past, they're sort of up on this shelf and what have you, and I could see, and the silhouette of the branches was like a throne,
Oh wow.
and it was like a kind of,
Yeah.
one of those moments, and it sticks in your head a little bit.
Yeah.
But it kind of sort of started a love of spotting shapes and looking for patterns, which was fortunate to some degree, because then I spent quite a lot of time in hospital having my spine re-straightened and other things, so wasn't much to do. And but luckily I was in this, for some of it, was in this hospital that was right in the, built into the woods, and it was a kind of like, because everybody's kind of inside, not outside. All the wildlife comes right up to the window, and kind of like looking out, seeing all the nature, and then on the inside seeing the nurses being this kind of, they're so kind of efficient but kind. You know what I mean? It was incredible, and it was a kind of like, oh my god, what are we doing? This is like really, so much of the things that we do are completely wasteful.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and there's a sort of satisfaction with efficiency, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of
Yeah.
kind of like doing the least,
Yeah.
possible things to
To get
stuff
the maximum.
to get the maximum effect. And so that was all kind of, so all these things are floating around, and I did meet a guy called Chris Cattle. I don't know if you've come across him. Yeah, and we met in a pub in Oxford.
Really?
Yeah, it's where I discovered I couldn't really drink. What was it? It was stout or something. And it was a bit of a funny day that. But yeah, then I got the opportunity to go to California and doing straw bale building. But the company that I was working for folded, but I still had plenty of time on my visa and all the rest of it. So I got into gardening, and then I started. We used to go to the beach quite a lot. And saw some driftwood kind of lined up in a way that was like, oh, that's quite. It'd be cool to make a table out of this driftwood. It was a sort of one big T-shape bit of wood, and then these like little smaller bits that were on top of it. And I was like, oh, I could just line them up, cut out the shape of the branch, and then just drop it into this, and then plane it all off, and it'll be this kind of like crisp, clean outside. But with the sort of, this sort of driftwood furniture thing in the middle, and then, is that?
There's 2 tables on there.
Oh, cool.
Oh wow.
Show the camera.
Why not I just grow the things into these shapes? How hard can that be? At this point, it's just crazy idea number 374. You know what I mean? It's not. Chris is the first person that sort of like. Because up until that point, everybody that I'd been they'd been helping in the field, it's kind of like, this is how you do, this is what you need to do, sort of thing. Whereas Chris understood the rules, and then, as with any kind of art thing, the point is like finding rules and then breaking them, as it were.
Knowing when to break
And knowing when to.
Yeah.
So Chris has been the first person that's kind of like understood those rules and then applied them, and in a way that I wouldn't have, but it's like annoyingly better. and it's like, oh, excellent. You know what I mean? Now, it's out of my head into somebody else's, and then the next stage is to get it to spread it a bit further, sort of thing. What we're selling, as much as anything else, is the kind of
the ethics. behind
there's a
the
sort of
values attached to it. People are becoming more aware of how wasteful society is, and how inefficient it is, and how unsustainable it is. So sustainability is becoming more important. I mean, I'm quite keen to explore purely sculptural things using these techniques as well.
I'm quite keen to join him. Yeah, it's nice to
I
see.
think this is another connection with the art world as well, because I always find if I view an exhibition that I've really enjoyed, a successful art exhibition changes the way you look at the world when you leave the gallery. And it's that kind of thing. Hopefully a visit to the field changes the way people see trees.